Lust is a thing, it's one of the most desirable things men want, apart from purpose. Now, a lot of men don't know this, that the more desirable thing, the more thing that they're going to have, the higher ROI, return of investment, is actually their purpose, not their lust. Because lust has always failed a man. When a man chases lust, he doesn't succeed. When he chases his purpose, when he chases his living, when he chases something meaningful in the world, lust will naturally come, and it's not going to be his downfall of his career. Now, I'm saying this because I'm not perfect. I fucked up quite a lot of times in my life, and lust was the thing that failed me. I realized that when I was trying to level up, when I was trying to actually do something better, lust was the thing that basically held me back, and it stopped me from going further. It was this thing because I was addicted to it. Before that, I was addicted to porn. So lust was basically holding me back. I was playing video games, eating junk food, doing shit habits. So I didn't get myself anywhere. Then when I started going to the gym, it was a bit of a level up. I still, I started to see progress in my body and my physique and everything, but I still wasn't succeeding in anything else because lust was holding me back. So when I actually quit porn, I was like, fuck this. I'm getting on NoFap. I don't want to be like a rage bait loser who literally just, sprays the seed and gets nothing out of it. There's no return of investment. There's literally none. Ejaculating, you get nothing out of it. You literally lose dopamine. You gain this shit. And you're just going down a downward spiral. So what I did, I hopped on NoFap, right? I was literally on NoFap and I was grinding. I was in the gym. I was working on like business pretty much. Like some not very, how I'd say, like pyramid scheme businesses. So I was like drop shipping. I tried drop shipping. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried this Snapchat program and all this sort of stuff. So I was trying to like go viral with these, trying to make money of this while I wasn't lustful. So pretty much, I was putting my energy into something meaningful. I was grinding in the gym, and I saw a ton of progress from that. My health and diet was actually pretty on point. I'm not saying like I had a super super clean diet, but I was like chicken, broccoli, rice with mayo, beef, this with rice. So it was way better than it was before. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was way better. And it got like, I think 6 months in, I was on this journey, on this plan. I was still a virgin at this time. And lust just took over me. I was so lustful. I was like, I need to have sex. This is the worst thing a guy can do, is when he absolutely needs something. It's this like needy energy that's literally going to be the start of his downfall. And I saw this. My life went like this up. It didn't go all the way up. It was just slowly graduating up. I didn't discover self improvement at this time yet. So I was just working on these businesses with my friend. I was door knocking, window cleaning, just trying to get money, trying to level up in life while being on NoFap. So I wasn't like indulging in lust or anything. But it got to a point where I was like 17. I was like, fuck, bro, I need to lose my virginity. I just fucking need this shit. So it's like, that was the start of my downfall, because it just led me into cheap dopamine, texting girls, you know, meeting up with a couple of girls, nothing really happened, kissing a girl here, nothing, blah, 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 blah. And then I met my now ex-girlfriend, which was literally just like a hookup. So just a link up, nothing special, no nice date, no nothing, literally just a hookup. I lost my virginity. There was no connection. There was no, there was nothing. We kind of, at the time, I thought, we just connected like through talking and shit. Like we were so good for each other. Looking back at it, it was my neediness, my loneliness. Same thing from her. And when I experienced this, I was like, I thought I'd be the happiest person on the planet. I was like, fuck, I lost my virginity. It was more of a social brag. Then a couple of days I got to school, I was like, dude, guess what? I lost my V card. Oh my gosh, that's crazy, bro. Like this sort of bullshit, pretty much. And we kept meeting up. We kept literally doing it because I was so lustful that I was literally just like begging for this shit. I was like, no, that fuck. I make myself look really bad here, but I wasn't like begging her for sex. We were literally just linking up every couple of times, like a couple of times a week. Pretty much that. Literally just for sex. And I knew this girl was bad. Like, fuck, she's not like a bad person, alright? I don't want to talk shit on her, but her qualities and traits for a relationship, I was like, fuck this. I remember I straight up told her it was this one night. We were sitting in my car talking. I think it was like after or before we had sex because literally we'd meet up for sex. There was no deeper connection or anything. And I literally told her, I looked at her and I was like, there is nothing in the world that's gonna make me date you. Or I said something like, I am never gonna date you because of your past. Because to be honest, this girl was pretty open with me. She told me like her family situation. She told me her, past life. And she just put it out there. And I was like, whoa, okay, what the fuck? This is crazy. Then later down the line, it was this sort of tickle truth where it was like she was going back on her words and saying like, no, that didn't really happen. It wasn't that bad because she knew it. Like her past hurt me a lot, so she was like basically just like trying to cover stones, like heal the wounds that were already made. Anyway, so this happens. We like see each other for like 2 weeks, basically just hooking up, doing all that sort of stuff. And to be honest, I was like, if I lose her, I'm gonna lose sex for the meantime. And I would say that's where my downfall began. Because I was scared to lose a girl just for sex. And that's why I've turned to the red pill now because I see all this stuff online. I actually like when I've tried to actually find like a good quality woman, even if you do, it's quite impossible because let's say you're 30, 35. It's more likely to find a virgin because she's mentally fucked and she's got mental problems and then there's something wrong with her than to actually find a 30 like a virgin that age that's been following Christ and everything and is waiting for marriage. There are basically like it is impossible, near impossible to find like a woman who's following Christ who's a virgin these days. And I got, like I don't want to. I'll probably make another story on this. I got fucked over. I got played with when I was not too young, but like a couple of years ago by girls. I was manipulated all this shit, and I was like, I'm just gonna turn to the red pill. Ever since I've done that, I have felt so good. I have felt way better. But that's a whole story for another video. I want to come back to, the mistakes I made because I hope if you hear this, you won't make the same mistake. Because of course, when you first lose your virginity, it's like, it's sex, crazy, and you keep on doing it. You keep on to go, you keep on to do it. It's this whole new thing you discovered. So pretty much, I made her my girlfriend. And looking back at it, it was like, look, this is gonna sound really sad, but I kind of didn't really even want to, but I knew that if I didn't, she was probably gonna get taken by some other guy. And I was like, because this girl literally like did everything I told her. I know it sounds like fuck like controlling and shit like that, but it's true. Like whatever I said counted. And I was I was too lustful to lose this. So basically that was my downfall. So I got this girl to be my girlfriend, even though I knew it was a bad idea, but I was like, bro, we can change it. We can make her a wife quality. It's fine. And the thing that hurts me the most is there wasn't no real connection whatsoever. She wasn't very intellectually smart. None of that. I don't want to just sit here and like hate on her traits because, bro, I've been pissed at myself. Like I fucked up because I let lust took over. Lust took over my life, and I got with a girl that I wasn't supposed to get with, which initially just that's where my downfall started. My downfall started by doing exactly what I told myself a couple of years ago I'd never do. I'd say no, it's only supposed to be a wife quality woman, wait till marriage, blah 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 blah. And then I have a hookup with some chick that's not good quality and get into a relationship with her that I didn't really even want. But I knew that if I did that, she was basically locked and mine. And I realized it was bad because, I didn't really like talking about her to other people. I didn't like introducing her to other people because I was scared she'd say some shit because her past wasn't good. Her past really wasn't good. And, you know, her family situation was even worse. And this girl just fucking opened her mouth and say the randomest shit. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, she'd tell me some stuff that to this day I think about it. When I was talking to someone about it, I was like, I literally got this like fucking anxiety feeling over my body because I was like, there's no way I like fucked myself over. And I am not blaming her whatsoever. This has nothing got to do with her. This is all my fault because, like I said, I wasn't strong enough to control my urges. So I let this basically fuck my life over. And then, I fell into a worse rut. We were together and everything, and the worst thing, the sex wasn't even that enjoyable. And I'm gonna get quite deep here in this video because I feel like if I tell you, you might understand, and I hope you won't make the same mistake as me. So, look, if you want to skip forward maybe some minutes so you don't hear this, but pretty much the sex wasn't enjoyable with her. So basically, she'd just give me head. And it was basically like a source for me to like release my seed without actually, having sex, getting into all of that because I didn't really enjoy it with her. I didn't really want to do it much with her. So she'd literally just give me head. That was it. We're done, and then we're like move on. We forget about that and we go like we talk or something. I don't know. Not my proudest moments. Not my proudest moments whatsoever in my life. But what can I say? We all make mistakes, and I'm the one who bears this mistake. Basically, I fucked it, and it's because I literally just got emotionally attached through cheap oxytocin. There was no connection. I got attached to this girl, and you know, we started planning our marriage, planning our future, all this bullshit, and then it got to a point where I got addicted to porn. I got addicted to porn because I wasn't satisfied. This sounds bad, but I just wasn't satisfied with her. So I resorted to porn, And then she found out, and she was gonna break up with me, but we didn't, and basically I quit from there. I didn't do it ever since because I was like, I knew that if I did it, I'd lose her, and I was scared to lose her because I was like, if I lose her, I lose sex. Of course, like I'd lose her as well, but looking back at it, it was that cheap dopamine that bonded us together, like your first relationship and everything. And then I remember when it got to a point where I was like, this is too much, and I ended things with her. I broke up with her, and I literally started meditating. I started gratitude journaling. I started actually focusing on the gym way more because when I was with her, I fell off the gym. I fell off my diet. I literally got a brand new, like, perfect diet. Gym. I was training like 7 times a week. I still am. I was consuming so much educational stuff, so much like relationship stuff, so much of this, and I realized literally everything. And I was pissed at myself. I still have some hate towards her. I don't know why. I know it's wrong for me to like hate my ex because she didn't do anything wrong. Nothing that she wanted to actually. It's all my fault, but I still have this resentment towards her. So the whole lesson that I wanted to share in this video is if you can't control your lust, it will control you. Inevitably, it's going to lead to your downfall of your career, of your life, of everything basically that you have, which happened to me. And then when I broke up with her, and I used all that fuel, all that anger, all those emotions, literally to put it into something different. I basically 10x'd everything. I was uh I was with this girl, and I showed her a picture. It was me in February this year, and it was September or October now, and she could not believe that was me. From a picture from my breakup to now, for these past, I don't know, what is it, 5 months? That's the biggest change I've had in my whole entire life. And it's because lust didn't control me. I controlled it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, brother.